Now,
on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
O'Connor and Company.
7:36 now. It's O'Connor and Company this Thursday morning. We got the post-debate hangover, and we're giving you all of that discussion. Plus, we're still reacting to the election results in Virginia on Tuesday. In fact, I think we got a little juicy bit of news from Ronna McDaniel herself. You just heard us talking to Sean Spicer. We will play that audio because I'm down in Miami covering the debate on the ground, and Ronna McDaniel last night told me that she was told by the Youngkin team, we don't need the RNC, we don't want the RNC, we don't want your money. And so she had no involvement. You just heard Sean Spicer react to that. We'll discuss it a little later. I think a lot of people are going to be reacting to that throughout the day.
Yeah.
So we got that coming up. I'm Larry Conner, by the way. That's Patrice Onwuka. Good morning, Patrice.
Good morning, Larry. You're making headlines, just making headlines. I mean,
I'm trying not to make the news. You know that. We just observe. Here's a guy who did make news, and it was good news. On a night where we didn't have a ton of good news, but I'll tell you something. For the people of Loudoun County, if the only two races they won was reelecting Sheriff Mike Chapman and getting rid of Buddha Bibarai by getting Bob Anderson as the brand new Commonwealth's attorney, that would be a good deal, and that's exactly what happened. Bob Anderson joins us now. Thanks for joining us, sir.
Larry, thanks for having me. Let me say this. First of all, I want to thank all the voters of Loudoun County for turning out to vote. We needed it, and they came through. They did it. And so it was a close race. We expected it to be, but we have prevailed. And so
Truly
we're very
David
happy
and
about
Goliath.
that.
I was told yesterday that your campaign barely spent $70,000. She had over $1 million of Soros money.
She had $1.1 million of Soros money. And we spent probably close to $70,000. I have to say I am so grateful for my former paralegal who was in the office with me, Kim Fernandez, and also Colin Sutter. Brilliant work. And these people have a tendency to tell me something maybe that I don't want to hear, which is totally very invaluable. And I used it, and they were critical in this whole thing.
Well, I love seeing gratitude in American politics, and it warms my heart to see it displayed that way, Mr. Anderson. I got to say, though, are we being premature? Because my understanding is Buddha Bibarai has not conceded this race. Is she breaching the boundaries into election denial right now, sir?
I don't know what she's doing, and really I'm not following anything that she's doing right now. But I will tell you that basically when you get to a situation where there's a 1% gap in the winner and the loser, there's a procedure available for a relook or recount. There was 130,000 votes cast. We won by over 1,000 votes. So basically that's within the 1%. I don't know what she's going to do. At this point in time, they're in the process of canvassing. I expect, if I understand this correctly, that's going to be done by Monday, and there'll be a certification. So I'm looking forward to it.
good. Well, I just want to talk a little bit about the last days of the campaign for you and the messaging and the issues that your opponent seemed to have run on compared to you. I mean, she was putting out all of this messaging, fear mongering that the next top prosecutor would be prosecuting women who have abortions and doctors who perform abortions. But when we saw, the abortion issue being peddled, fear-mongered by the left, especially in the last probably 2 weeks, can you talk about just that tactic, and then going forward, how should Republicans and conservatives running think about this abortion issue?
All right, so you mentioned the word fear-mongering. That's exactly what it was. In the course of the campaign, there were a couple things. One is that she claimed that she reduced crime 31%. Not true. The other issue that she really worked quite heavily was this abortion issue. And I have said, abortion has the role of the Commonwealth Attorney's Office in the prosecution of these cases has nothing to do with abortion, nothing. But the fact of the matter is that she was peddling that as a what if this happened, and it really, I think, confused some people. I think that was and it was intended to confuse people because she knows that the Commonwealth Attorney's Office has no role in that issue at all, nothing.
Well, listen, we're gonna play it the way you're playing it, which is we're not even going to pay attention to what Buddha Babarai is doing. You are the winner. It's obvious you're the winner. You've declared victory. So you ran on one message, really, which is reverse her policies and get back to a law and order mindset from the Commonwealth Attorney's Office and work cooperatively in partnership with the great Sheriff Mike Chapman. So what do you plan to do? How do you execute that? How quickly can you turn things around?
Well, I was in there the first time. Basically, we were the fastest growing county in the country. We had a case that involved a serial killer that was 20 years old. And what we did was we actually went to the Board of Supervisors and said, look, we prosecute cases from 9 different police agencies. We want our own investigator. We want funding for that. This time, I'm probably going to go forward and ask for multiple investigators, maybe 3 in number, to address issues like fentanyl. And when I say address issues, I mean don't take over anything, because we have total confidence in what the police is doing. But we want to be part of that process of investigation and recommendation. The other issue that really surprised me quite a bit that has increased over the years since I've been in the office was human trafficking. So basically what I'm looking at is going forward in trying to get funding for additional investigators to be part of the task force that addresses those issues. And so that's where we're going first.
All right.
I can tell you right now.
Mr. Anderson, one other quick question that needs to be addressed, I think, and that is there was a lot of turnover. As you know, you campaigned on the fact that so many career prosecutors left that office under Buddha Babarai. The problem is she was in charge of replacing them. Are you going to do an audit of all the new hires, and is everybody's job right now in question? You're going to determine whether they stay or not. What are you going to do there?
Okay, everything is open. Let me say this. These are not my numbers. These are human resource numbers. And the number is this. There's been an 84.6% turnover in that office. It's chaos. Wow. And we have to be able to put people in place that know what they're doing right from the first day. And so, I feel right now I'm in a sprint to get ready for January 1, because that's when we take over. But you have to have experienced people in there. So the answer is every position in that office has to be looked at. And if there is an issue where there needs to be a replacement, that has to be done.
Yeah.
I can say this I can't mention any names, but I have been kind of looking at people and telling them that if I win this election, you're going to get a phone call. You can decide whatever you want to do then. I don't want you to tell me now because it might jeopardize your position or whatever, but you're going to get a phone call from me. And I'm in the process now of getting ready to make those phone calls.
Wow. Bob Anderson, brand new Commonwealth Attorney-elect in Loudoun County. Congratulations on the victory. We look forward to having you on plenty as you try to right that ship in Loudoun. Thank you, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
It's 7:45, WMAL Traffic and Weather.